Hello, welcome back to another video of the first part of foreigners in K-pop. In this first video, to set the stage, we will be talking about colorism and influence. My view on foreigners in K-pop will be in the next video. I hope you enjoy. Remember to watch the whole video before leaving a comment, and if there's anything I missed, please let me know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe for more content. I post many different Blackswan related topics. So even though I've talked about black and Western influence in K-pop in my Fatu hate video, I didn't go into full detail, and I'm still not going to. I feel like people have repeated this same thing over and over again, and it takes one Google search and one music video to see who inspired K-pop. But I do feel like companies have double standards over certain races, and a lot of times these companies don't give their non-Asian idols the same respect or bare minimum care as they do with their Asian idols. So let's talk about it. I couldn't find any really good, recent videos on this topic which really inspired me to add my own opinions. Remember, these are my own opinions and you might enjoy these artists. I also want to add, I've seen people say, why don't foreigners join other music genres in different countries? Why is it always K-pop? There are two reasons for this. First, you're just being an idiot and don't look outside of K-pop because foreigners and biracial people are joining other music genre. I mean, Japanese popaka J-pop has a black leader Lakia who is fine as fuck, Lord have mercy, in a 16-member Japanese group called the Rampage from Exile Tribe. And honestly, compared to K-pop, J-pop is a lot more diverse between skin tones, but I digress. Also, Lakia older brother Ellie is a member J Soul Brothers from Exile Tribe. Japanese music has or had also Crystal K, Mandy a Spanish woman, Nesmith, Sarah, need more examples. Zhang Feifei in China that debuted even after losing to a Chinese survival show and getting many negative comments from the Chinese. Second, of course, non-Asians are going to want to join K-pop like any other genre out there. If you connect with a genre, R&B, hip-hop, Diso, country, etc., and have the ability to sing said genre, of course you're going to want to be in that genre and make music to inspire others. K-pop is of no exception. And that was only mostly black idols in Japanese music. Another mainstream industry, I'm sure there are few white, and maybe other races debuting in different music genres, not just ones in Asia. But I focused on black people in Asia because what I find really interesting is that J-pop doesn't market itself like K-pop does. It doesn't really go for a global audience in my opinion, yet J-pop is so open to black idols, mostly ones of a darker skin tone. But an industry that uses Western influence, English, and others' cultures to gain a global audience, is so xenophobic towards actual non-Asian Korean idols. So colorist? I remember reading a Reddit post too saying how they didn't like non-Asians being in K-pop because it was rep towards Koreans and other Asians because the Asian community doesn't get much representative and that non-Asians was colonizing K-pop. This was response to someone asking if Fatu should be in K-pop. This is the last time I'll be writing this out. Korean pop isn't culturally or historical to Koreans. It was made through inspiration of the West and black music in the 90s. Sure, K-pop added their own touch on things like creating the groups we know today and giving K-pop many genres to work with like Girl Crush, but it would be nothing without black influence. Not only because black and African Americans created popular genres in K-pop like hip-hop and rap that can be traced back to Africa, popular hairstyles, outfits, etc., but also because a lot of things seen in K-pop come from black culture and black culture only that's been rebranded with Korean idols. You can't colonize a music genre or industry where more than 98% of their groups are Korean and another big percent are other Asians. And no matter how you look at it, K-pop will always give rep towards Koreans because it's a Korean music genre. 3 or so active non-Asians groups isn't going to change that. Y'all act like one black woman entering in a no-name, poor company is going to take over K-pop as a whole. Just because Koreans ripped off black music and black aesthetics doesn't mean it's something meaningful. Sure, it did got a lot of fame for Korea, but by the end of the day that was mostly through black protective hairstyles, Afro beats, and black scents. Some may say I don't have a say in this because I'm not Korean, but at the same time y'all would say it's unfair for me to remove my misunderstood and stereotyped culture out your petty industry. Make it make sense. Of course, not saying K-pop idols can't use other people's cultures and can't use the English language. I mean, there are people in America that use Spanish and other languages in their music, but it isn't to gain a global audience like K-pop, and they aren't in a whole music genre that depends on fandoms. It would be one thing if they was using another culture to show the beauty and talent of said culture, but usually it's to help their tough or ghetto image or to mock. I'm also not saying there isn't a history or culture to K-pop, But a lot of that culture and history is Black African Americans and their culture, and their history that was wrongly rebranded into cringy melodies and dance it till you make it type shit. Colorism in Korea can stem from when the color of someone's skin in Korea reflected how wealthy they was. Farmers that worked out in the fields had darker skin tones compared to people who had servants to work for them. And when European beauty standards started spread to Korea, this allowed Korea's view of lighter-skinned people of being more wealthily have another positive unrelated stereotype of being more attractive than people with darker skin tones. Even with people who had not worked out in the sun and just naturally had a tan and brown skin color, like East Asians, Africans, some Hispanics, etc., was still grouped with negative stereotypes like being poor and unattractive. This mindset helped Korea's colorism to evolve and repurpose its hatred against darker skin even to people naturally born with darker skin and even to its own people, with the constant reminder of skin whitening products, unnaturally pale celebrities, and the constant reminder dark equals bad mockery. I watched a vlog from Queenie, a Blasian Korean teenager, when she was looking for hand cream or something like that. Without hesitation, the saleswoman starts recommending her skin whitening products, knowing she was born with a darker skin tone. She is clearly Black, and Queenie has said many times Koreans look at her as a foreigner in her own country that just knows good Korean. I don't want to go into detail about this colorism since I want to focus on foreigner idols, but there are many examples of colorism in K-pop. Not only is it pretty normal for even very popular groups to get away with colorist comments towards each other, just looking at before and after pictures of idols a few years before they became idols, photoshopping versus in real life, and black facings, there is still a large stigma against darker skin tones and the mockery of races and people with those skin tones. And that's where I'll be leaving today's video off. Make sure to subscribe for part 2 where I'll be talking about foreigners and double standards.